Hello, everybody. Thought I'd bring you guys a quick Demon Hunter guide thing, kind of let you know how to tank with them a little bit. Been playing them pretty heavy. Pretty much fell shrouded my guy all the way back up to full, which is kind of awesome. And done a couple dungeons, done a couple raids. I'm going to give you guys a quick breakdown of their abilities, their strengths, weaknesses, and basically how to use these guys. So let's get rolling. Now I'm going to do something that I like to call an active guide, which is I'm going to be going through an instance and giving you a guide as I'm going through the instance. As things are going down, I'm going to tell you what I'm doing, how I'm handling certain situations, how I'm holding aggro on single mobs, how I'm holding aggro on multiple mobs, and how the mastery comes into play. Well, seeing as we're about to go to the first boss, let's go ahead and get started. This is a very active mitigation heavy tank. You have an ability called Demon Spikes is going to be your primary activation or active mitigation mechanic. You want to try to keep this thing running at all times. It uses very little pain, so it doesn't really cost a lot to keep up. Just want to manage the rotation cooldowns in order to keep it up. Now, how you hold aggro against a single target mob is very, very simple. I like to leap in, like here, and then do shears and then soul cleaves as I need to. Now, I pulled a bunch of mobs here, so situationally I popped my Metamorphosis, which gives me more healing, a lot more pain generation, and a lot more health in order to manage handle the aggro on all these mobs. It's a 3-minute cooldown, so you want to use it only when you need to. You don't want to just keep trying to rotate it out, you might need it. Firebrand is another active mitigation ability you saw me just toss on the boss. What it does is it does damage, and then also will reduce the incoming damage by 40%. It's a fairly long cooldown on that one, I think it's a minute, so you want to use it sparingly. Again, pull in single target mobs. You just want to use Shear and Soul Cleave and pop Immolation Aura on cooldown. Immolation Aura is a AoE ability, but you still want to pop it, on cooldown. It's got a short enough cooldown for single targets that deals damage to everybody and generates pain. Pain is your primary resource. It's like Rage for a warrior. As a matter of fact, it functions just like Rage for a warrior. Now, while there's a little lull here, while we're, actually getting to people to fight, I'm going to go over their mastery, which is, their Fell Mastery. What it does is increase the amount that damage can be reduced from your Demon Spikes by a concordant amount with the amount of mastery that you have. It also increases your attack power by that concordant amount. I'm stacking mastery right now, or I'm trying to stack mastery with the limited gear available because it seems to be the most viable way to do specs for a tank. So, and I'm about to pull a AoE pack, so I'm going to tell you how we handle those. Now, what I like to do is I like to leap in because it'll do AoE. Pop my Immolation Aura. You can also pull with Glaive Toss because it'll hit up to 3 targets and it does decent damage and high threat. You want to Soul Cleave on every time you can get the chance. Keep popping Shear, and that's basically it. That's the only major differences between those. You also want to use the Sigil of Flame when you can. Unfortunately, these trash packs are dying way too quick for me to even really bother with Sigil of Flame. But on larger trash packs or progression trash packs, you want to use those because it does AoE fire damage. Now, notice that I'm using a lot of the time using Infernal Leap, and I keep saying that ability wrong. It's the leap from demons, you know what I'm talking about, to cross gaps, to get around certain things. In order to, enhance my mobility. And I'm sorry if I sound a little off. I'm a little tired today. I'm not feeling well. So, probably should have said that at the beginning. Yep. But it also does AoE damage, allows me to close gaps, close distance. Is fantastic. Another thing I do want you to notice is that because I've been stacking mastery abilities and mastery rings, and I've kept everything with mastery, with Demon Spikes up as often as I have it, my HP does not drop really at all. I can self-heal whatever damage I'm taking. Now, I'm sure that, that is going to get nerfed. It's just going to have to be. There's no way they're going to be able to keep this tank this viable for that long. I have, however, seen some Demon Hunters struggle. It's because they're not using their Demon Spikes. A buddy of mine had his Demon Hunter, and he went in to take an instance for me while I was playing Havoc. And he was dropping like flies. So we swapped specs. He went as Havoc, I went as Vengeance. We had the same gear level. He was wondering what I was doing differently. Turns out he was not using Demon Spikes. He thought it was, an ability you didn't really need to use. So keep that rolling. Try to get into a rotation or get into the, swing of things to where you're popping one as one's coming off, or just after one comes off. Now, a couple of abilities I'll go over real quickly because you didn't really get to see me use them that much. Is the magical shield that you get. It is a fairly short cooldown, defensive cooldown. When you're about to take high magic damage, you're going to want to pop it. I'm blanking on the name of the ability right now. But as soon as I remember it, I'll let you know. The second one is Darkness. Darkness is... Empower Wards, by the way, that's the magic one. Darkness is an AoE defensive cooldown for your entire group within 8 yards. It is fantastic. The best fight I could give you is anybody that throws a Shadow Ball volley. Let's say Doomlord Kazak throws out a Shadow Ball volley. It's not going to work because it's magic, but because it gives them a chance to, dodge incoming attacks. But if, say, Lord Marigar from ICC is doing his Bone Storm, that's a melee attack. It increases their ability to dodge by 15%, which is just nuts. I'm not really going to go over the talents because there's really not that many of them right now. Most of your talents unlock after you hit level 102. I only have 2 right now. So, and they're kind of just, whatevs, so to speak. But the keys to this class are this. Use your mobility to your advantage. This is a hard class for a DPS to get antsy and chain pull ahead of you. Because you can just move so fast. So even if you have that, that Huntard that keeps pulling you. By the way, that blue flame, that's a soul fragment. That Huntard that keeps pulling ahead of you, you'll be able to get to him. A couple of other side notes. The number you see on your soul cleave ability is the amount of soul fragments in your area. If you want to heal more, you need to wait until you stack up some of the soul cleave fragments. But you want to use soul cleave basically before you cap on pain. There's not really a whole lot to go over with the Demon Hunter yet. They're fantastic. I suggest you get in there and play them. They're easy to gear up right now because of the invasions. Enjoy the rest of the instance, and you guys have a great one. Peace!
Into my docks and so brazenly set foot on my ship. Nothing will stop the Iron Horde, least of all you. Enjoy your death, weaklings. Sugar, man the machine.